Welcome back. This is Captain Valen, take 497. We're going to be talking about what I think is going to happen coming up in Wano. And I think the big thing I want to talk about, first and foremost, is the Luffy Kaido fight. I called it ish. I'm saying it again. I'm going to say it until somebody hears me. But I knew that this was going to be like a movie where there would be a big conflict early. And I assumed that that big conflict would be Hawkins and Zoro and Luffy. But it turns out the big conflict was Kaido. And it just changes the size of it. You know what I mean? Like, it changes the scope of the movie in my head. It goes from being like yay long to being like yay long. So yeah, and I really can't wait. And the fact that he just got one shot pretty much guarantees he's about to get taken. I really, really want Luffy to get taken because it means more in this arc for his crew and for development for Luffy to get taken and this to turn into a rescue and then an assault. You know what I mean? I know they were like, but we just rescued Sanji. That was different. Sanji gave himself up to protect people. I'll get into that in a later video, okay? But the point is, this is going to be Zoro's time to really step into the role that we've seen other people take. Like, this is Zoro's time to become, the vice captain, his commander, his right hand, his Katakuri. You know what I mean? We have more respect for Katakuri in his role than we do for Zoro and his, because it's been straight up explained. This is him. This is the first dude. This is the best. There's nothing to it. This is the vice captain. And Zoro's never had that. He's always danced around it because he doesn't serve any other purpose. Like, he's not the ministry of something like in Big Mom's case, or he's not like an all-star with a bunch of people below him like for Kaido here, but he's the main assault, if not, aside from Luffy, obviously, of the Straw Hats, to be sure. Like, Sanji is great, and I like him as a character, but when it comes to a straight out all in all, like, if you're going to hit somebody with one thing, which one's going to hit harder? It's probably always going to be Zoro. Always. Like, 9 out of 10 times. There might be one time that Sanji does something, twists his foot just the right way. Who knows? All right. But for the most part, Sanji is the smarter fighter, hands down, without question. You know what I mean? So there's that. And I think one of the reasons that Zoro had to be separated from Luffy and for Luffy to fight Kaido is because a drunken Kaido would not have been able to stand up against Luffy and Zoro, because once Luffy started punching, Zoro started cutting. Like, Zoro's on that level. He's that dude. He's like, oh, Captain swinging, time to do work. There's no questions. He doesn't care why. I mean, granted, it's Kaido, so the why is already there, but you get what I'm saying. Like, Zoro's that dude. He's like, yeah, I'm here. I'm cutting for my captain. That's what I do. And I'm not sure that a drunken, unaware Kaido would have been able to defend himself properly against the whole world-cutting thing that Zoro can do. And the combination of Gear 5 and that, it would have been a different fight. And you don't have to like it, but Zoro has proven himself stronger than most without even trying yet. He hasn't even put in the real effort in a fight. The most he did was put on his bandana and got thrown and cut like 5 times. I mean, I'm sure like the drain on Haki is substantial, but as far as him pushing himself for skill and like with anger and with drive, no, nothing. He hasn't had that yet. And I think he's going to have that now, and people are going to be like, oh, that. And I'm not even sure it has anything to do with the eye. That would be pretty dope. But I think it's going to be more directly based on the incredible amount of skill he has. Like, I like swordsmen. I like dual wielding. So the concept of tri-wielding is absolutely fantastic. You know what I mean? And I want to see where he takes it. And Oda has such a great mind that I really want to see how he steps into the role of vice captain the way he's supposed to. You know what I mean? How he's supposed to be that right hand person. How is he supposed to be that Ben Beckman, that you know, Katakuri, how is he supposed to be on that level if Luffy, you know what I mean? Like that's what I want to see. I want to see his moment that solidifies him, and I really hope that that's what the Wano arc's for. I think the other crew members are really going to come into their own too, because the time spent on Whole Cake Island, like it's not like they weren't doing anything. I almost promise you Frankie has built some kind of mecha something or other. You know what I mean? Like another mecha Shogun, maybe made some additions to that, who knows? But I can promise you something has been done. Like, these aren't people who just do nothing. Like, Usopp, who is my favorite Straw Hat, is a tinkerer. You give him something, he makes it better. You give him anything, he makes it better. If he doesn't understand the technology, like the green pops or the celestial technology or for weather that he had with Nami, he learns it and he still makes it better. Like, this dude is on another level as far as tinkering, and now you've given him haki, something that can be attuned by his will and his imagination to do specific things. You gave it to the right person, let me tell you. And then we're going to see the least fitted for what they're doing, in my personal opinion, because Robin is an archaeologist and an assassin. Let's not forget that. Like, she's an assassin. When asked about, well, what can you do for the crew? She's like, oh, I'm an assassin. And everybody's like, oh, okay. I'm not sleeping. But the thing is, being a geisha doesn't supersuit that unless she's using it to practice fine motor controls of a clone. Now that would be a huge upgrade, because then she's breaking off straight up Kage Bunshin style shadow clones, jutsu business. You know what I mean? It's more finite control. So they can all be focused on her being all geisha and curvaceous, and she herself is all sneaky nin, cutting people with her own throats. Like, she can do that. She can make another throat pop out of you and kill you. Theoretically. All right, but that's not how she does it. We all know what she does. I really, really feel like this is going to be that arc that showcases the growth that people can have when given a little bit of time, because that's what it's going to be for them. This is like a month-long time skip, a 2-month. I don't know however long they were in Whole Cake Island is how much time skip that these characters had to work on things. And I really think that's what's going to come into the foreground coming up in the whole Rescue Luffy arc. Because if he doesn't get taken, I'm going to be upset. Because it's more important to get him in there with Kid from a literary standpoint than it is for a lot of other things. And I know the second Law doesn't save him, everybody's going to be like, oh, Law's a traitor, Law's a traitor. Yeah, Law's always been a traitor. Law said, hey, I'm a pirate. We're probably going to end up on the opposite end of things. In the beginning, that doesn't make you a traitor. That makes you telling somebody what you're going to do and them having to understand. If they forget, that's on them. Like, I had a thing when I first got out the homes and we was doing hood rat shit. I was like, don't run close to me. I swear to God, I will trip you. All right. It has nothing to do with you. There's just nothing in this world that will make me go back, but I'm not smart enough to stop doing stupid shit. And my friends understood that. They were like, all right, cool. We all go our ways. You do you, man. If you get caught, you get caught. I was like, respect and understand, sir. And that was just the way that it worked. That was an understanding. And people kind of forgot that about Law. Law's like, yeah, no, I'll trip you to get away. 600%. I don't give a You're not in my crew. Like, I appreciate what you do. I like you. You're not a bad guy, but you're not my concern. You're not his... You're not Beppo, all right? He's got loyalties to people that aren't you. You know what I mean? And I think that's the part that everybody wants to forget, because, oh, Law and Luffy, they're both D's. But no, like, Law has other loyalties. And being a D, do you think he's going to subvert those loyalties for somebody else just because he likes them? No, Luffy wouldn't. We wouldn't expect Luffy to go save Law's crew at the expense of his own. No, we wouldn't. All right, we'd be like, Luffy's a bitch. The internet would explode. All right, well, the very limited One Piece anime internet would explode. You know what I mean? And I think that's kind of the point that people forget about Law. So expect something like that. Expect him to choose his people over Luffy. Expect him to save himself, to save his crew before saving Luffy and possibly dying. Like, he's a pragmatist and a doctor. He understands some situations you got to cut something off to save the rest of it. Like, that's a fact. All right? Granted, he's got his whole surgical room, so we can cut something off and you can still live and he'll attach it later and it'll be fine. But it's different. This is almost like emotional cutting. And he's going to do that too. He's going to have to. And Luffy's probably not going to understand. But inside the clink, he's going to meet Kid. And if you know Luffy, if you fought with him one time and didn't attack him, you're obviously his best friend. So when he finds Kid, he's going to be like, oh man, they got you too, my best friend. And Kid's going to be like, what the fuck are you talking about? We're not friends, you straw-hatted mother. And it's, you know what I mean? It's going to be a different kind of feel, but it's Luffy. It doesn't change. Yeah, you're a good guy. We fought together. We're cool. And they're going to break out together and it's going to be part of the assault. And I really want to see how that happens. But I mostly want to see Luffy come to terms with the fact that he's not in the weight class he thinks he is, or he should be fighting in. Like, just because, you know, some bird with the approval of the world government made you a Yonko, you know, at least in the far as the public is concerned, doesn't mean you can swing a bat with the big boys. And let me tell you, if there's nothing in this chapter that proved anything, is that Luffy can't swing a bat with the big boys. Because when the big boys swing a bat, Luffy's laid low. And that's my rant for today. What's going to be happening in Wano? Like, comment, subscribe. I'd like opinions, a little help raising the channel. I'm still new to all this, and I'm open to ideas. All right. This has been Captain Valen, being 100%.